I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? So with that, I'll ask you to turn around here because you're going to meet the little one coming in. And thank you, music. Thank you.
One life had found its missing piece. So as long as I live, I love you. Will heaven hold you? You look so beautiful in white. And from now to my very last breath, let's stay on cherish. You look so beautiful in white tonight. What we have is timeless. My love is endless. And with this ring, I say to the world, you're my every reason, all I believe in. With all my heart, I mean every word. So as long as I live, I love you. Will heaven hold you? You look so beautiful in white. And from now to my very last breath, let's stay on cherish. You look so beautiful in white tonight.
Thanks very much, Sharon. That was lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome, and none more so than Daniel and Tanya here today. And for those of you who didn't hear what Tanya's father said to Daniel, all I'll say is it ended in, or else. So ladies and gentlemen, you are all very welcome. And we are gathered here to celebrate the very special love between Tanya and Daniel by joining them in marriage. Marriage is much more than signatures on a legal contract. Marriage is the public and the legal joining of two souls that have already been united as one in their hearts. And they are promising in front of all of you people here today that they want to be with each other and only each other for the rest of their lives. And that they will do everything in their power to honour the promises they are making here today. Today's promises become permanent and friends become family. And all of us here will help to solidify this bond as Tanya and Daniel are joined today as husband and wife. This new journey will be at times very rewarding, extremely difficult, but most importantly, it will be a journey that you will take together. So to start the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to light a candle here on the table. And this candle is going to be lit for all of those people who cannot be with Tanya and Daniel on their special day. When the candle is lit, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you just to take a moment to feel the energy, the love, the comfort and the support, because the flame will remind us they haven't gone anywhere, they have simply moved on. I'd like to invite Natasha to come forward, please. We think especially of Tanya's granddad, Tony, and Uncle Anto, and most especially Daniel's mum, Peggy, and all other family and friends who have gone before them. lovely, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite you all to take part from where you're sitting, and I'm going to call a few people up around the table here. So if I call your name, please come forward. But before I do that, I'd like to explain to you what we're about to do. So the best man has the rings. He's the best man ever. Going to hire him out, he's brilliant. That does not sound right for a wedding, sure it doesn't, no. I meant because you're such a good role model, that's where it was, Peter. So Peter is going to start the rings when this circle comes up, to go around the circle, and they're all going to put their love and their blessings into the rings. And I'd like all of you to take part in this as well. So please, from where you're sitting, send your love and your blessings to the rings so that they know that they have your love and your support, but it's a way to be connected to the rings when they do exchange them later on when they take their vows. So if I can invite the parents who'll come up and stand behind their child, please. Yeah. Can I have the bridesmaid and the groomsman? I can have Pat and Veronica, Desiree, Peter, David, Toby, and Natasha, James and Ivan. So Peter, if you come beside me, please. And if you come beside me, please. Yeah, over here, yeah. Great. And if you can have... Yeah, just tighten up a little bit there, just to make it a little bit circle. Maybe go around the lanterns. Yeah, Natasha here, if you come around to... Yeah, great. Great, come on and just make it a little bit tighter. Yeah, if you move over a slight bit there. Lovely. We'll get nice and cozy. So, Peter, don't frighten us now with the...
No.
Oh, that's good man. Yeah. Just slow it down there, Natasha. Yeah, put your hand over the rings. Just send your lovely blessings to them, yeah? Nice and slow, lads. I'd like to wish you both many, many, many years of happiness. Yeah, Peter, thank you very much for taking part in that. I'll invite you to take your seats. Thank you. Desiree, I made you sit down. Come on, sorry. I have a reading here for you.
What is love? Sooner or later we begin to understand that love is more than verses or valentines or the romance in the movies. We begin to know that love is here and now, real and true, the most important thing in our lives. For love is the creator of our favourite memories and the foundation of our fondest dreams. Love is a promise, is always kept, a fortune that can never be spent, a seed that can flourish even in the most unlikely of places. And this radiance that never fades, this mysterious joy, magical joy, in its greatest treasure of all, only known by those who love.
Oh, well done. You're the best class ever. Well done, Desiree, thank you. Okay, have you two had enough of a rest? Yeah. Okay. I'll invite you to come round this side of the table. So, Daniel and Tanya, I will invite you to take a light from the tea light here. Okay. On the table, yeah? Take a light from that with the tapers. And light your individual candles, symbolising your lives up to this point in time. And Daniel is playing hard to get.
Candle is playing hard to get.
And you can blow that one out, Daniel, there. And let these candles symbolise that you have lit those flames with the willingness that you will share your light with one another after you take your vows. But for now, they are two distinct lights, each bright and shining on their own. Take a seat there for a minute.
Watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer as we go our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. I pray we'll find your light and hold it in our hearts. When stars go out each night, remind us where you are. Let us be your prayer. When shadows fill our day, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, Dad, you're on again. As if walking down the aisle wasn't nervous enough. You're doing a reading there. Thank you.
That's all right, probably on.
Oh, you have your own. Just hold it in the folder, will you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Marriage is about giving and taking, forging and forsaking, kissing and loving, pushing and shoving, caring and sharing, screaming and swearing, about being together wherever the weather, about being driven to the end of your tether, about sweetness and kindness, and wisdom and blindness. It's all about being strong when you're feeling quite weak. It's all about saying nothing when you're dying to speak. It's about being wrong when you know you are right. It's about giving in before there's a fight. It's about you two living as cheaply as one. You can give me a call if you know how that's done. Never heeding advice that was always well meant. Never counting the cost until it's all spent. And for you two today, it's all about to begin. And for all that you two had to put in. Some days filled with joy, some days filled with sadness. Too late, you'll discover that marriage is madness.
Well done, well done, well done.
From this moment, I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I give my last breath from this moment on. I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give. From this moment, I will love you. As long as I live, from this moment on.
That was lovely, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, this is where we get serious. Are you ready? Deep breaths. I'll invite you both to stand, please. So, Daniel and Tanya, as we move into the legal part of the ceremony, I have 2 questions to ask. The answer to the first, if it's true, is I have, and the answer to the second, if it's true, is I declare this to be true. So Daniel, have you, have you read and understood the list of civil impediments to marriage?
I have.
And do you solemnly declare that you believe there is no impediment of kindred or affinity or other lawful hindrance to your proposed marriage with Tanya?
I declare this to be true.
And Tanya, have you read and understood the list of civil impediments to marriage?
I have.
And do you solemnly declare that you believe there is no impediment of kindred or affinity or other lawful hindrance to your proposed marriage with Daniel?
I declare this to be true.
I was really just making a dramatic pause there, ladies and gentlemen, just because it is now that I, Sandra Losty, in accordance to the rights of the Spiritualist Union of Ireland, do solemnise this your marriage according to the laws of the country and the laws of Great Spirit. Before you, Tanya and Daniel, are joined together in the presence of Spirit, my presence, and in the presence of all of your witnesses here today. I am bound, as you know, to remind you publicly of the solemn, the serious and the binding nature of the relationship into which you now are about to enter. This marriage is the voluntary and full commitment of this man to this woman and this woman to this man. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others and is entered into with the desire, the hope and the firm intention that it will last for a lifetime. So Daniel, do you take Tanya in marriage to be your wedded wife, to share your life as your friend, your lover and your companion, growing together in spirit and in truth and forsaking all others?
I do.
And Tanya, do you take Daniel in marriage to be your wedded husband, to share your life as your friend, your lover and your companion, growing together in spirit and in truth and forsaking all others?
I do.
Lovely. Come on around this side of the table again. And if you take the tapers and take a light from your individual candles and bring those flames until they are one flame over the unity candle. And not scarring yourself for life if you can. And know now, Daniel and Tanya, that this flame now symbolises, while each of you remain unique persons with your own spiritual gifts, personalities and talents, that from this time forth your thoughts shall be for each other rather than your individual selves. Let the love you have for one another draw you both closer together. And know that when you light this candle, you are now symbolically expressing the goals of your union in marriage, and may you radiate this love to all of those whose lives you touch. So take a seat there.
They'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. Still the one I run to, one that I belong to. Still the one I want for life. It's still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. Still the one I kiss goodnight. Looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby.
Okay, I'll invite Sarah and Sean to come forward, please. Oh, Sarah. Sarah, will you start there, please? That's great. Lovely. That's yours, Sean, and just put it into the folder when you're reading, yeah? When she's finished, yeah? Thank you.
Spirit of life and love, we ask you to bless Tanya and Daniel in their lives together. May they be blessed with patience to see them through times of conflict. May they be blessed with kindness to enable them to nurture and care for one another in times of pain and sorrow. May they be blessed finally with the knowledge of ever-flowing love in the world, that they may be channels of this love to one another and to all whom they meet in their life's journey.
Oh, well done. Well done.
While we are rejoicing, we take a moment to remember all those who have gone before us. We pray for those who have difficulties in their lives, the sick, victims in justice, and those who are deprived of love and affection. We pray for peace in our homes, in our hearts, and throughout the world. May the Spirit bless the world and its peoples with the peace and protection of His love.
Oh, well, thank you. So before we move into the exchange of rings and the personal vows, what do the wedding bands symbolise? Wedding bands are a perfect circle. They have no beginning and they have no end. But we know that the rings you are about to exchange did once have a beginning. The rock was dug up from the earth. The metal was liquefied in a furnace. The hot metal was poured into a mould and cooled, and then painstakingly polished. And something beautiful was made from those raw elements, and that will be your wedding rings. And love is like that also. It has to be worked at. It is the process of making something beautiful where there was once nothing at all. And all of your guests here today have made these rings all the more special by adding their well wishes and love to the rings in the ring warming ceremony. So I'll ask you both now, are you both ready to give and receive the symbols of love that are your wedding rings? Lovely. I'll invite you both to stand and turn and face each other and hold hands. And Peter, maybe you'll move the chairs out of the way, please, to the side if you don't mind. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. So Daniel and Tanya, as you hold hands, know that you are holding the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you throughout all of your years, that even with the slightest of touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will countless times wipe tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, it's a long time away, long time away, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you that same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. So Peter, can we have the rings, please? And if you give Daniel Tanya's ring. And Daniel, as you place the ring on Tanya's finger, please read your personal vow.
Tanya, I am proud to take you as my wife. For all the time we've been together, there's been a kind of a mutual understanding which is only shared when there is true love. You've helped me face challenges, encouraged my personal growth, boosted my self-esteem. You have helped me become the person I am today. With your help, I will be a better man tomorrow. 8 years on, we are still going strong. It's been one hell of a journey. We battled through rough times together. I have come out better, stronger than ever. You've been the rock of our relationship, keeping me on my toes. I can't imagine life without you, except when Manchester United is on the TV. I want to walk through the rest of my life with you, creating more. Memories to look back on and to live a life our children will be proud of. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you today and always.
Lovely. And Tanya, as you take Daniel's ring and as you place it on his finger, please read your personal vow. Thanks, Peter.
Daniel, when I look back on our journey and what we have achieved together over these past 8 years, we have had our fair share of fun and tears. We rarely parted from day one, except for when I packed your bags a few times. But to say we faced a few challenges is an understatement. We've had to face health scares, multiple car breakdowns, all in the same year, mind you. Multiple car breakdowns, 3 house moves, and 2 live episodes of One Born Every Minute. And yet you're still here standing beside me today, ready to sign on forever. So it's with my whole heart I take you as my husband, acknowledging and accepting your faults as you do mine. I promise to be faithful and to support you and to always make our family's love and happiness a priority. So I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you today and always.
That's great. Thanks very much, Peter. Thank you. That's great. Give them a round of applause for that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, so this family have decided to do what's called a sand ceremony. And while it's important for Daniel and Tanya that their marriage and their union is symbolised here today, really it's about family for them. And I think we've seen that all through their ceremony, that family is a theme that runs right through this. So they wanted to represent this in some very concrete way. So there's 2 taller vases there, and those 2 colours are in the end of this vase here, along with a 3rd colour. So one is Daniel's, one is Tanya's, and the 3rd colour is that love or that energy that brings them together, that got them through all the car breaks and all of that stuff that's gone on in the last 8 years. So much so that they're here today promising to spend the rest of their lives in front of all of you. So the foundation is there, so that's there before they came into the room. They're not starting something totally brand new today. They're building on what they've already built in the last 8 years. So Daniel and Tanya, I will invite you to take whichever colour there you want of those taller vases. Yeah, and just hold that sand for a moment. Just no, one each. Yeah, when you are very generous. Yeah, yeah. And then just think about what it is you want to build on as 2 people, as a couple now. The children will be represented in a moment. So as a couple, what do you want to build on that foundation? And just take a moment with the sand to infuse the sand with those wishes and aspirations and dreams that you have with one another. And when you're ready, pour half of the sand in on top of your foundation. And they will make their own unique design wherever that is, however they want to make that mark. It'll all come together in a moment. It'll all come together. And then the children also are represented here. And I know you can't see this, but in the end of this, there's a little bit of Daniel's and there's a little bit of Tanya's, but there's mostly their own colour because they're their own personalities and their own people in their own right. So that's why they have more of their own colour than they do of their parents. So, have you got the job for 2 of the, 2 of them? Yeah? And you pour them in there. And why this goes in this way is it's where children belong, and that's right in the heart and the centre of the 2 people who love them the most in the world. And if those of you who have children, you know that to be true. You know that. So Daniel and Tanya, I will invite you to take the remainder of your sand. And if you pour that in on top, and this is symbolising you all as a family here today. So everybody is represented here today. There's the family unit. And so this is the mark, ladies and gentlemen, that this family have made here today. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see the children are very clearly in the middle. Give them a round of applause for that. Well done. Now, this is where it all gets real. Are you ready for this bit? We're ready. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've got this far. Excellent, excellent. So, Daniel and Tanya, in closing, spirit of love and life, out of this world 2 souls have found each other. Their destinies shall now be woven into one design, and their joys shall not be known apart. A little blessing for you before you leave here today. May your home be a place of happiness for all who enter it, a place where the old and the young are renewed in each other's company, a place for growing, a place for sharing, but above all, a place for love. May those who are nearest to you be constantly enriched by the beauty and the bounty of your love for one another. May your work be a joy that serves the world. And finally, may your days be good and long upon the earth. This is a very silly question, I know, but I do have to ask it. Are you both ready to be declared? Yeah. Excellent. I like it when they agree on that part. Daniel and Tanya, you have declared before us that you will live together in marriage. You have symbolised it by joining hands, exchanging rings, and taking vows. So therefore, on your behalf, and on behalf of all of your community gathered here today, I now declare you to be husband and wife. Daniel, you may kiss your bride. Makeup.
Working together, we learned how to go. Life is an ocean, love is a boat in troubled water that keeps us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now, gathered round us, we have our own crew. Together we're in this relationship. We built it with care to last the whole trip. Our true destination is unmarked and reach us. We're navigating through the shores of the heart. Life is an ocean, and love is a boat in troubled waters that keep us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now, gathered round us, we have our own crew. Life is an ocean, and love is a boat in troubled waters that keeps us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now, gathered round us, we have our own crew.
So, and I'm sure it will be a rocking party, all right. So it wasn't enough for Daniel and Tanya to exchange rings and make wonderful, beautiful vows to one another and to say I do and to make sand designs together. They wanted to make sure that they knew that they were married, and they went for a hand fasting. And I'm aware that there's children in the room, and I could very easily say something that I shouldn't say. So you all know what that is, so we'll say no more about that. So just lift your hands up in the middle. Hold hands. Yeah, these two, yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that they know that they're married, because
This is the chain.
and here's the double chain. So when you come to a ceremony and we talk about two people getting married, we talk about it in terms of people tying the knot, and this is where that saying comes from, because people were bound together with some sort of a cord or a ribbon or something. So we literally are going to tie the knot just to make sure that they know that they're married and that you're having the party for all of those right reasons. So Daniel and Tanya. Oh my goodness, it's coming apart already.
Oh, don't say that.
But watch this. Watch this. This master knot tire. Say nothing, say nothing. I can hear them thoughts thinking already. So, let this knot symbolise the binding of your vows to one another.
Not very good knot, is it?
Will you wished? Will you wished? May your hearts and your destinies be forever entwined, and may your love not know a day apart. It's a very unique knot. I've never done a knot like that before in my entire life, so you know that this is unique. But ladies and gentlemen, for the moment, please rise, because I now have, don't go anywhere just yet. I now have the greatest of pleasure to present to you for the very first time today the new Mr. and Mrs. Dargan. Give them a round of applause.